Welcome back to Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Wednesday, March 20th, 2019. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, direct from the RxMuscle studios. It's another edition of our world-famous Recap Wednesday. So let's jump right into the only action on last weekend's docket, the Arnold Australia. Of course, the big headline from the weekend came from the Men's Open, where William Bonac continued his reign of terror by knocking off defending champion Roelly Winklaar to secure the victory. Ryle Grabel's storybook season continues in the fitness division as she soared to another huge win over reigning Olympia champ Whitney Jones. In figure, Jessica Reyes Padilla scored the biggest win of her career with a jaw-dropping performance. And wrapping things up in the bikini division with an impressive win was the red-hot Janet Laig, who suddenly turned herself into the clear #1 contender in the division after her blistering Arnold USA win to start the season. Here's a Wednesday morning knowledge bomb for you guys. One of the main reasons human beings develop habits is because desirable experiences hardwire paths into our brains that make us want to repeat a series of actions again and again. So if you had the best overall performance of your career at the Indie Pro like last year, like 212 tank Charles Dixon did, it only stands to reason that your habit loop would drive you to get back there and do it again. A few days ago, the Dixon camp announced they had plans to bring their talents back to the Indie Pro stage 2 weeks from now, where he'll try to become the first repeat champion in the show's history. Pound for pound, Dixon has been one of the most consistent and durable guys in the division for the better part of the last decade. So if he brings another one of those vintage tank performances, the judges are going to have a hard time keeping him out of the winner's circle. Charles Dixon isn't the only one starting to turn up the heat for his Indie Pro prep. Emerging classic physique star Kevin Johnson is also starting to make some waves in his own right. A few days ago, we spoke to a source inside the Johnson camp who told us that he's planning to come in with 15 more pounds of quality stage weight than he had in his IFBB debut at last year's Chicago Pro. The general consensus coming out of Team Johnson is that he's made a whole lot of improvements across the board. And based on some of the photos they shared with us, I can't say that I disagree. On paper, this Indie Pro lineup is shaping up to be pretty darn good. But I still think there's room at the top for a guy like Johnson to slip in there and compete for a top 5 finish. Deep down, there's a part of me that always wished I bought an old school muscle car, just so I knew what it would be like to pull out of the driveway and garage every once in a while and open that sucker up on the highway. And rumor has it that Milan Sadek might be thinking about firing up his engine 2 months from now for this year's New York Pro. Last year, the former 212 Olympian made the jump up to the Men's Open, where he put together 2 strong top 8 finishes. But now that he's had almost a full year to keep upgrading his horsepower, I'll be curious to see what he can do if he can get that bad boy cranked all the way up to 5th gear. If you're looking for a good read on how to make the things you want manifest themselves in your life through visualization, then you should stop whatever you're doing and go get yourself a copy of any book by Wayne Dyer as soon as this show is over. Or if that's too much work, maybe you can just pop open your Instagram and check out what classic physique standout Khaled Chikahoui is up to. The third-year pro is already off to the best start of his career after back-to-back top 5 finishes, which has definitely elevated his status as one of the top young prospects in the sport based on some of the conversations I've had. This guy had a vision for what he wanted, and he went out and made it happen. And I think there's a lesson to be learned for a lot of these young athletes out there looking to make a name for themselves. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.